Victoria here, aka Tori, and today I'll be letting you into my natural infertility treatment story. Now, women suffer with infertility for different reasons, and this could be one of many things, such as issues with fallopian tubes, fibroids, polycystic ovaries, or something else. When I started to think that I might have infertility issues, I knew I would much rather take a holistic approach to healing myself naturally. This is quite a sensitive topic and one that's really close to my heart, so I'm sure it is also for many of you watching, and I just wanted to say that no matter what you're currently going through with regards to this matter or what stage of family planning you're at, if you really want to be a parent and you know in your heart of hearts that this is the right thing for you, then please stay focused, stay positive on a positive outcome, and keep visualizing, see your life as you want it to be. I spoke briefly in my last video on how I stopped smoking weed about the importance then of visualization and how powerful it actually can be. It's real, thoughts do become things, and what you believe you receive, and also what you resist persists, so have faith. Anyway, I digress. Just a quick disclaimer, guys, as I'm not a medical doctor, nor am I telling you what you must or mustn't do with your own body, and no, I can't guarantee that what worked for me is definitely going to work for you. I'm simply sharing my story to just bring an awareness of options and alternative natural remedies for healing your bodies. So let's go. So when I was younger, around 7, I loved to play with dolls, and I remember one Christmas, right, I wanted a baby doll pram so bad that I literally asked everyone in my family for one, and I think I ended up with maybe 4 or 5, I'm not joking, but I was just that adamant that I would be a mum one day, and the thought of this not being the case somehow, it never even crossed my mind, not even for a second. Now, I was born with a rare case of exomphalus, and just to explain how rare that is, between 1972 and 1984, there were only 35 cases of this type of defect recorded in England and Wales, and the survival rate for babies at that time was really quite poor. Now, exomphalus, for those of you who don't know what that is, usually people don't, it's a type of abdominal wall defect on babies, and it occurs during pregnancy in the mother's womb. As a result, the baby's stomach doesn't fully form or close before the birth, which means that for me, when I was born, I was rushed into surgery and then kept into hospital for another several surgeries during the first sort of 6 months of my life. Luckily, I survived and was made quite strong, to be honest, through it all. However, it did leave me with scarring on my abdomen from these procedures. So anyway, yeah, fast forward some years, I'm in my early teens, probably going through that awkward, stage of puberty, and I remember just looking down at my scars one day and being so scared that I might never be able to have a baby. I wasn't actively family planning at the time. I wasn't even sexually active, to be fair, I was that young, but it literally just dawned upon me that the part of my body which was made to hold and build a baby was probably destroyed, and it was heart-wrenching. It was kind of just like bittersweet from then on in. On one hand, I was happy and blessed to be alive, but then on another hand, I was furious that my lifelong dream might never ever be fulfilled, and I just kind of felt cheated in a way. And for a while it was kind of why me syndrome, it was just floating around in my head. What was so special about everyone else and all these people I knew who had kids, and some of them even quite early on, and yada yada yada. Anyway, when I reached 30, in a few years after some relationships and encounters, romantic encounters, it kind of came to a point in my life where I was just satisfied, yeah? No matter what happened, I told myself that if I wanted to adopt or have a child some other way in the future, then there's so many options out there that are available to me, I could just do it that way. So I was single for around 10 years, but I was dating. When I met someone, I was 37. And he had 2 children already, but we decided to get serious. And I told him about wanting kids and, you know, some of my history, and he was cool. I didn't want to kind of rush him into family planning with me at that point. But as I was 37 and my biological clock was ticking, I just wanted to kind of find out for myself what the deal was with my body, what was going on, and, you know, if there were any issues. So, as I'd never been pregnant up until then. Now, the issue I was having is, for me to be tested by the NHS for infertility, I had to actually be actively trying to get pregnant and unsuccessful for a year. And as well as that, the man I was trying to get pregnant with would need to be tested first. You know, they'd have to kind of rule him out of the equation before running any tests on me. So after dating this guy for around 8 months, I asked him if he wouldn't mind helping me out by having his sperm checked. Yeah, so that I could get my test. Weird, right? He agreed. He was a good sport, so he booked his doctor's appointment, and yeah, that was that. Now, at the same time all of this was going on, I was kind of researching how I could get pregnant naturally, and I knew from previous tests and slight pains I'd had in the past that I had a few fibroids. But I was just convinced that it was the scars on my abdomen from the early operations I had, which were pushing down on my fallopian tubes. It just really felt like the most practical answer. So I narrowed my research down to try and find out how to get rid of scar tissue naturally. And that's when I came across serrapeptase. Now, serrapeptase is an enzyme which is taken from the silkworm, the animal silkworm, which is known for eating dead scar tissue without affecting the live tissue. So I delved more and more into the benefits of serrapeptase and found out that I could order them in the form of capsule pills straight from Amazon. So I did, and I think they were available for around £25 for a bottle. As well as this, it was recommended at the same time I take the Chinese root Dong Kai, again in the form of a pill, which helps with balancing a woman's hormones. So yeah, I ordered these from Amazon also. Don't worry, I'll leave links, you know, below for any resources that I mention. Now, I felt like I was always destined to be a mum. I dreamed of my daughter. She lived on all of my vision boards for around 10 years. But I also knew that I wanted to try the holistic approach, as I mentioned, you know, before any invasive medical input. That would just have to be as a last resort. So the pills came, and to be honest guys, I'm really rubbish with taking pills. And instead of maybe the 2 a day I was supposed to be taking, I probably remembered to take them more like 4 times a week. I didn't put any pressure on myself at all. I kind of just believed it was going to work and massaged my body, my stomach with castor oil. That was something else that I found out while I was researching. And just sending loving and positive vibes to my womb area. And this went on, you know, for a while, and I just kind of continued living my life. Anyway, one afternoon I was sitting on my bed, and I kid you not, I got this sharp pain in my lower abdomen. It wasn't like a period cramp, this was different. And as I sat there, I kind of just breathed deeply and smiled, and I just knew it was the fallopian tube releasing. I literally felt it, and that was that. And I think it must have been around maybe 2 months after that I found out I was 6 weeks pregnant. I was so anxious to even take a pregnancy test. I'd never even before been like 2 days late for my period. And I swear I must have been a good 2 weeks late at that point. But I finally plucked up the courage, I did it, and yeah, it was positive. And I think I may have just like smiled for the whole day like a nutcase. And then my healthy and beautiful daughter was born 9 months later, and I couldn't be happier. You know, I'm just a proud mummy. Now, I understand we're all different, and I can't promise that what worked for me will definitely work for you. And you know, I must also say and add in that I actually changed my life around and did a total 360 around 3 years before actually getting pregnant. Like I mentioned in the last video, I knew that if I wanted better for myself in any area of life, then I would have to be prepared to first become better. And I think that's where so many people struggle and have that inner conflict with themselves. You know, it's so easy for us to blame the government and blame society or parents and upbringing, or, you know, your school or whatever it may be, for current situation that you might find yourself in. But the problem with that is when you do that, you give away so much of your power, and it's a cop-out. You know, the only one responsible for your life is you, and we can't expect to have all our prayers answered if we're not also prepared to put in some work as proof to God and proof to the universe that we actually deserve the blessings that we pray for. For instance, I knew that I wanted to be fit and healthy and strong when I became a parent, and let's face it, I wasn't getting any younger. I wanted to be emotionally mature enough to cope with this long sleepless nights and the hard work and the sacrifice that would ultimately come with that, you know, important role. So I had to break out of the old ways of thinking. I had to give up some harmful habits that were no longer serving me, you know, to prepare myself. And that was like the waiting period. You know, I took time out, and that's what it's for. It's just taking time out for personal growth. Learn patience, learn true faith, you know, faith that, you know, whatever it is you want to achieve, you can receive, it can come, but only if and when the time is right, divine timing. And you get to decide really when that is, by continuing to always work on becoming the best version of yourself. The universe and the creator, God, is infinite love, infinite potential. And again, what you receive, you know, what you believe you receive. So believe in greatness. You know, greatness is within you. Believe that you're worthy and you deserve the life of your dreams, and don't settle for anything else, and don't let anyone talk you out of it. Whether it's your mum, your dad, your doctor, no one. There's people walking this planet today that have killed themselves of cancer and other diseases and so-called conditions, you know, because they've worked out how to use the mind in its most powerful way, which is to focus only on the good things and only on the things that you want to achieve, and then following up with actions that you can naturally do to assist in reaching that goal. So yeah, if you're interested in finding out about serapeptase or anything else I've mentioned, I will leave links below in description, so you can go and check those out and continue with your own research. Only you know what's going to work for you in your life, guys. I'm living proof that this has worked for me, but it might be something that works for you or something else. I don't know, but I'm just trying to bring awareness, guys. If there's anything that you want to ask me that you feel like I've missed out, please get in touch, you know, leave me a comment below. I'm also planning to do a Q&A for you real soon, so do DM me on Instagram or email me over at Victory Granted with your questions. Before I forget, if you head over to my website, victorygranted.co.uk, then sign up to the newsletter, please subscribe, and I'll send you my free short ebook as a gift, which is the 3 keys to unlocking your power. If you know anyone else who might benefit from this message, then please share the video. Until next time, guys, take care.